Welcome back at 6:18. Our financial expert, Marty Mazora from Private Wealth Advisors, joins us live in studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So we're talking about the volatility of stocks. It's up 1 minute, down the next. Yesterday closed up almost 200 points, but
Correct.
futures are now down.
Yeah, futures are down. Right now, we'd have about a 70-point decline at the open. Yes, if there was any doubt, volatility is indeed back in the market, and it kind of feels like deja vu. We, this time, not just last year, but the year before last as well, things were looking pretty good, and then Europe kind of got in the way of the market, and I think somewhat surprisingly to most, because we thought maybe that was off the table for a little longer, but now it's all about Spanish banks, and I read a couple of articles this morning that talked about how in Europe the efforts to ease monetary policy are beginning to be backed away from by the officials, and I don't think that would bode well for market dynamics this soon. I like the idea of them backing away from an easing standpoint. I know that markets won't. So the good news, though, because yesterday we were up a whole bunch, is really earnings in the U.S. Earnings are coming in, once again, better than what analysts had expected. And outlooks are pretty good as well. I've maintained for the last couple of years, as we've talked about it, that stocks were probably too cheap relative to where earnings would suggest they should trade.
Yeah.
And that story really hasn't changed. And you add to that liquidity, a lot of cash on the sidelines, and interest rates, and you get what traditionally would be just a great environment for stocks. What we have, though, is we have political headwinds, you know, in many corners of the world, particularly in developed markets, the bigger countries. And in January here in the United States, we have monster tax increases if you look at the effects of just letting the Bush tax cuts expire. As the year unfolds, if politicians don't begin to get in front of that a little bit, I think the market should, you know, let's just call it volatility. It doesn't mean we trade a lot lower, but boy, we're going to have some big swings on that news.
So what do you say then to people who are checking their stock portfolios and they're seeing the markets just go up and down like crazy these past few weeks?
Don't.
Stop looking at it.
Yeah, if you're in the market, I would always maintain that you're in the market long term if you're doing it the way you should be. Now, if you're a trader and you're trying to make money one day to the next, I guess you have to look at it, and I would just wish people luck with that. But keeping a long-term perspective, rebalancing, as we've talked about a lot on this show periodically, is very important, which always keeps you selling while stocks are going up and buying while stocks are going down without trying to time the market. So I mean, if you look at what I write a lot about, when I get to the market dynamics, I talk a lot about that and really putting on blinders when it comes to the day. We talk about it because we need to, because this is the news.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to act on this. You want to stay very diversified. You want to, and as I keep saying, you know, have some money in fixed income that you can rebalance to periodically.
Something that everybody is still noticing out there, the high gas prices out there. Yesterday, the president was talking about trying to do something to curb those escalating oil prices.
Right.
But you've got some thoughts on that one real quick.
Yeah, you know, and yesterday I blogged quite a bit on that. In fact, I would encourage viewers to go there. I actually did a couple of videos on that topic and really illustrated how the futures market works and why, in my humble opinion, it's important that government stay out of the way. The futures markets are essential to the pricing of oil as they are other commodities. In fact, they have an impact on supply. Well, supply and demand impacts what futures traders do, but actually their actions impact supply in terms of providing oil precisely when it's needed. And I know we don't have a lot of time to get into all that, but I do spend a lot of time talking about that.
All right, well, to get much more on Marty's thoughts on the president's latest plan to try and curb those prices, go to our website, CBS47.tv, and click on Marty Mazora's blog. Marty, thanks so much for joining us again.